Hello, Emily here from Create Your Future, and today I'm answering, hold up, one more of your subscriber questions. And today's question is different, and I like that because it's different to many of the other questions we get asked. It's about a family member that has been estranged from the family. And for the subscriber listening to this, specific to the question, for about 10 years. And using many different techniques such as visualization, scripting, affirmations, etc., they are struggling to find a solution to their problem, but also the problem being they want to find solidarity with the situation. They want it to come back together again. But 10 years is a long time. There's a lot of stories involved in 10 years. And so in order to find solace in the situation, in order to find the new scenario, shall we say, the new situation, I almost look at it as if like it's a total rebirth. Like 10 years of a story is a lot of story. It's a lot of time being who you are being right now, right? That's a lot of time practicing these stories. It's a lot of time reaffirming these stories. And like I say in every single one of my videos, reaction is creation. The more you make something matter, the more it becomes matter. And so this is almost a situation where you have to make the 3D reality, the circumstances, not matter. That has to be the biggest input. And so when you're thinking about the situation, get out a piece of paper right now while you're listening to me talking, and anybody who has a very similar situation in your life, or just that you want to change a person or you want to change a situation in your life, get out a piece of paper or just sit there with yourself and feel how you feel. Because feeling how you feel right now is going to tell you what you believe is true about yourself and your expectations on the world, so to speak, you know? So if it makes you feel frustrated and powerless and defeated and broken and unloved and whatever, these are what you need to be feeling, because this is what's telling you about what's real to you right now, because you're only ever going to get in life like who you are being, and that is like what you believe to be true about yourself. And that's what you allow in your life. What you believe to be true about yourself is what you allow. So for example, if you only believe that you can work 9 to 5 jobs for $10 an hour, that's the only way you're ever going to experience money, right? So it's the same thing with all these situations. Whatever you are believing about the situation is the only thing that you can experience. So I want you to sit down, maybe write it out and feel how you feel, because your feelings are what's actually the truth. And this is not about avoiding the situation. This is about being really, really honest, because I say this in every single one of my videos, but your reality is just a reflection of how honest you're being with yourself about how you feel and what you make things mean. So see, for example, maybe if it was the other way around and you were estranged from your family, maybe you're making it mean that like everybody hates you, and maybe there's some stories that are coming up about, you know, this person did that and that person did this, and this means this about me and this means this about me now, and like blah 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 blah. So it's all of these stories that we've got to be catching, because these are all narratives that you've kind of made up about yourself and what the world means around you. Because remember, the only things that exist are the things that you make real. Nothing has truth to it. Nothing has meaning except for the things that you give meaning. So this is where getting taking all of your energy away from it is taking the feelings away from it, taking your power away from the situation, is by feeling it to the point where you just don't give a hoot anymore. I know it sounds crazy because you're like, but I want to give a crap. But yes, of course you want to, because you want that situation to change. What we have to do is not give the situation at hand our power anymore, which means you have to get over it in order for everything and every part of that energetic situation to move on. Nothing matters. No circumstances actually matter, which means they only matter if we keep energetically responding and reacting to them. So if they keep having energetic and power over us, so for example, like I'll place this scenario on money. If you have no money in your bank account, but every time you look at your bank account, you're reacting and getting anxious and overeating, or, you know, crying in your car or whatever, it has power over you. Whereas it could just mean nothing, because money just flows in and out like water, which it does, because money is just, you are money, right? You are an abundant being, just like everything else. But if you have a belief around something that is the way it is, it's going to continue to show up like that is the way it is. Do you hear what I'm saying? So, number one thing, get really honest with your stories about it and the feelings that you have about it. And then what you need to do is let those things go by feeling all the feelings you have around them, because realizing that nothing, like, in order for something to change, is you have to become circumstances don't matter about it. If you make something matter, it turns to matter. I've said this before in my videos. So that's how we release the situation, is by feeling all we need to feel about it, recognizing all the stories that we've been playing out for the past 10 years, recognizing all of the relationships we have towards it, recognizing all of the emotional states and belief systems I have that are creating it every single day, because reaction is creation. You can then move on. And you can then move on knowing that you are everything. So not only are you the situation, you are the situation over there where you all are going out to dinner wearing pink gorilla suits. You're the situation over here where you are all living in Antarctica together. Like, there are so many different situations that could be, like, to the weirdest extent of things. It could be anything that you want it to be, anything. But you are the one who gets to choose which one you align with, which one that you choose that you want to go towards, and without expectation, really, with intention, but without expectation, because who knows, it could turn out way better than you ever expected. But the reason it's going to turn out better than you expected in the scenario where you all come together is because you've let go of the storyline where you're not together. You see, so it will come together in ways that are like wild and crazy, because you let go of the storyline of, oh, I'm alone, or I'm this, or I'm that, or I'm this, I don't have my life together, everyone hates me, blah blah blah, whatever the story is you have about yourself and the world. The only reason the world has like come together over here for you is because you're no longer invested in this one. It's just like nonchalant, it could be a choice, but no. But the longer you stay emotionally invested in this side of the story, the longer it's actually going to be a truth for you. And so the way that you actually just drop it is by recognizing what you're identifying with in your body, which is why I say feel how you feel, and then you'll identify the stories. So go within right now and recognize, oh my gosh, I feel like life is too overwhelming, and it's this and it's that and it's whatever. Just feel it out and it will leave you. Emotions are just energy in motion and often are used for alchemization. So you write a song about it, or like go paint a picture, or you write a new story out, write the new story that you want to, like, go on Pinterest and pin the like maybe the skiing locations you're going to go to as a family when you reunite, use the energy for something that's more productive. Stop identifying with the wallowness and the sorrowness of the situation at hand. I know it can drag you down and it can feel like it's too much sometimes, but that's when you have to be dedicated to the practice of feeling your feelings and letting the stories go. Because the longer that you stay there and allowing it to overthrow who you are as an energetic human being, yeah, you're going to be recreating it all the time. Think about time and money and yourself as the only resource you need. Like, the phrase that goes, time is money. I think that, when we talk about, I'm using money as an example, but it could be money, love, whatever. The longer you like deceive yourself and say, oh, tomorrow I'll do this, or in an hour I'll do this, or whatever, that's all this energy that you are wasting of yourself, which is your money, which is your love, which is your life, which is the it's really, your energy is your most precious thing, like, because in every single moment your life can shift. In every single moment you are like going flashcard to flashcard to flashcard. You choose which flashcard. So if you say that, oh, I want this, okay, well, are you going to allow yourself to take aligned action with that thing in the next moment? Because you will get an inkling to go do this thing, but are you allowing yourself to do it because you may be faced with a feeling from this story, but are you aware enough to say, I feel this way, I'm going to sit and feel it, and I'm going to move through it, and I'm going to keep going? Or are you going to allow it to be like, oh, no, 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 and then run back this way? This is why I'm saying sit with your stories and sit with your feelings, because when you start to move towards over here, you're not going to allow that to, you're not going to be the same person anymore, where this is going to happen again. Because the whole point I'm getting you to like feel your feelings and look at your stories is because you're becoming a different person. Every time you recognize them, it becomes a choice, which means you choose to be a different person, whether you decide to actually involve yourself in that story or not. You have learned a lesson. You have become somebody new. It no longer has power over you. So when you do take a step towards this thing and you do run into an emotion or an old trigger or whatever, you realize, no, that's not who I am anymore. We allow new things to come into our lives now. We allow more love. We allow togetherness, and things can change like this because you're no longer operating as this person because you identified who it was. You've identified how it felt and how it feels, and you're no longer telling the stories of that person. You're no longer living under the intentions of that person. You're no longer being that person. So you can naturally move over this way. You see? And that's what the most important thing is. Don't make it matter. The moment you freaking make everything matter is the moment it becomes matter. I will say in every single thing. It's just stories, it's just experiences, it's just choices you made as that version of yourself. But the likelihood is now that you are asking this question is that you are ready to move on to a new experience. So we can let this experience go, write about it, understand what the experience is, understand what you've been giving your energy to. Maybe it's this person's opinion or this person thinks that, or I'm worried they're going to think that. Well, are you that? Is that actually who you are? No, actually, it's not, because the only thing that you are is unconditional love. You are everything. You are the universe. You are like infinite energy. You are literally everything and anything. So sit down, feel it out, like let it go. Because you are not that thing. That's like me sitting here and saying, oh, I'm a blob because I've been homesick all week, and this person down the road is going to think I'm super lazy and this and that, whatever. Well, am I super lazy? Am I a blob? Is that who I really am? No. So am I going to identify with that and hide myself from the world for the rest of my life? I bloody well hope not. But if I did, I would expect myself to be like, get it together, girlfriend. Let that shit go. Sorry, didn't mean to swear. Let that shizness go. So you got to really think about it. You got to really think about, who are you identifying as? What are you telling yourself? What are you afraid of? Because those are the things that are limiting you. Maybe you're afraid of, oh, they're all going to think that it's all my fault and whatever. Well, is it actually anything really your fault? Like, everything's really your fault. Like, because you created everything. That door handle over there is gold. This door handle's gold. That's my fault. I created it. But is we going to make it a big deal? No, just a door handle. You know what I mean? Don't make things matter. Don't make anything matter. And you can change the opinions of people by changing the opinion of yourself. Do you reject yourself? Are you rejecting yourself? Are you the one judging yourself? Because the only judgments that can exist are the judgments that you place on things and the judgments that you accept about things. That's a huge thing. If you accept a judgment about yourself or about a situation as this is how it is, that is how it's going to be, because you've made it that way and you've made it matter. And therefore, what you say goes. Cool. If you want that to be the way it is, that is the way it is. If it's not the way it is, it's not the way it is. You choose. You are the one who chooses these things. So write it down, get very honest with yourself, feel your feelings about it, feel what you're making it mean about you, and drop the story. Drop the stories that you are telling yourself. Drop the stories about you being broke. Drop the stories about you being unloved. Drop the stories about your son not talking to you. Drop the stories about your family not being together. Drop the stories about everything and just move on. Move on to the stories that you do want to live. You don't even have to necessarily replace the stories, but you just move on in a much freer capacity. And then tomorrow you get inspired and you make new stories up. Like, you just move on with so much more freedom because you've fully accepted yourself, you've accepted the experience, and you've let the experience go. It's okay, cool, I was rejected. Okay, cool, I was laughed at. Okay, cool, I was this. I created those things. I'm going to feel it out. I felt like a fool. I felt shameful. I felt blah, blah, blah. But what I'm not going to do is hold on to it and make it like an actual thing about my life and be like, oh, I'm just the person that gets laughed at every single day and blah, 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 da, 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 da. Cool. If you want to do that, amazing. But now you've made it your identity, and that's what you're going to experience on a day-to-day basis. But if you just let that go, you say, that was a really awful experience, I don't really want that again. You cry it out, you feel it out, you feel nauseous, you let it just be your experience for that hour or day or whatever it was, and you move on. Your like plethora of experiences has opened up to this whole world of experiences. Otherwise, it would just be that. Let it go. If you don't want it anymore, if you're done with the experience, feel what you need to feel about it and let it go, because you open yourself up to a whole world of possibilities that you can not even conceive because you're stuck over here. Feel it out, let it go, get on Pinterest, write a new story. Whatever comes out, like, you have no idea what could come out of you. Like I said, like, you could all be going to dinner at some high-end restaurant dressed as pink gorillas for like I don't even know. You know, the possibilities are endless. You could all be moving to Hawaii and doing a hula dance together. Like, the possibilities are endless, and you have no idea what you could muster up or create or be with these people, without these people, whatever, you know. But you will never experience it unless you just let this stuff go. Let go of the obsession of not being together. Let go of the obsession of not being good enough. Let go of the obsession of being the worst one in the room. The moment you do that, what if you got first place at that competition you're competing at next week? Just because you let go of the shizness that you're holding on to. You got this. This is the process. Write new stories, sit in them, imagine you're there, do whatever feels good to you. But you have to let go of your stories. Stop telling them, stop repeating them from this day onwards. Feel them out, let them go, stop identifying with them. It is no longer your reality unless you make it your reality. You are the one that makes things matter. Okay, leave a comment down below. Let me know if this resonates with you. Book a one-to-one session. We can do it together. And I love you lots. And I will see you soon.